Footy is back. That's right. G'day. I'm Eddie Maguire. No, I'm not Eddie Maguire. I'm about a half of an Eddie Maguire, and I don't know. I've never run Collingwood. Not yet. I'm Jaymz Clements. I'm the host here at AFL Today. You can also see me on the official Supercoach AFL podcast and NBA Australia, all the good stuff. Welcome to, of course, AFL Today. This is our Round 0 opening round preview, and this is your new favourite one-stop shop for the greatest game in the world. Aussie rules footy. That's right. Joining me for this, oh God, finally the season is here. Opening round. What is it? Round 0. I'm going to call it like every name I possibly can.
You're trying to be official, but we can call it Round 0.
Opening round, Round 0, the first round of the AFL season. We've got the local dinguses, local weirdos, nuffs who we just found wandering around the office. We've got Alex Donnelly and his mo over there.
Can we just wrap this up? Like the season starts in an hour. I've got games to watch, seeing as the Swans are playing.
Yeah.
He's Alex Donnelly, and next to him is the stats guy, Liam McAllion.
Also known as Teams Guy this week.
Yeah, Teams Guy. I'm happy to go through some teams. I'm not as nervous as Alex tonight. Get a week off being a North fan, but yeah, I feel like you'd be a little bit nervous. First game back, I don't know. Yeah.
Nah, not really.
Not really?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm just happy that footy's back. Like,
I'm absolutely pumped about it.
Did someone say it? We should have a ding. Footy's back.
We should have a footy's back
Honestly,
counter.
a counter. Yeah. We're up to 5 already.
Because footy's back. The best part is just bounce the bloody ball. Let's go.
Yeah. Not if you're Razor Ray, though. He's allowed to throw it up.
Oh,
yes.
but back's a bit, I love that we've now got Razor Ray going, boys, I can't do my job. They're like, all right, don't do your job. Just do your job in like some compromised way.
I'd much rather him, make proper decisions and not make games all about him. But, you do you,
yeah,
Razor.
and have Razor written on his boots and stuff like that. But.
Weirdo.
He's a
right.
small man.
But this is the AFL Today show. It is Thursday before the opening game. So this will be out hopefully overnight. You better hear this. We'll talk very briefly about the Sydney-Melbourne game. Yeah. But the rest of it will be covering off all the games for the weekend. There's only 4. So
I know, it's sad.
Should be a bit easy. Opening round, bro. We'll go up north. Good job. Dillion.
Can we?
I want to like combine the two of them because they very clearly made this decision together, right?
Gildrew,
yeah. And
Gil and Dylan. Gil and Dylan. It's hilarious.
And Gil.
Gildill. That sounds bad.
Either way, they make me angry.
Also, can we just quickly point out how this whole opening round 0 thing was meant to be about, we'll take advantage when the NRL isn't in town. The NRL is literally playing this weekend. How do you get the dates wrong? Seriously.
It's like they've like Googled it and someone's just like gotten it wrong and they've run with
They're
it.
like, oh, crap.
And
they're like, oh, wait. We're not going to say another word about that.
Shout out to the NRL. 61,000 views. Good stuff. 100 million apparently, but 61,000.
No one's entirely sure what you're saying. So that the audience in the USA,
NRL, yes.
The American audience for the league over there was 61,000. So
which was promised to be a couple of million.
Well, they said
wasn't
they were hoping for up to 10 million.
10 million.
100 million reach.
Just for the record, The Rock's currently wrestling and they're getting 3 million watching The Rock. So we're never getting 10 million.
No one's going to argue that The Rock is smaller than the NRL. But yeah,
I mean, what are the Manly Sea Eagles cooking?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So what we do here on AFL Today for our Thursday shows, we'll be going through the news that you can use basically. Essentially, what we'll turn this into as there's more and more news as the season goes on, because there's not actually that much news at this point. It'll turn into a bit of, I don't know, the weirdest stuff that you actually need to know about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Then we'll go through the game previews. Simple as that. We've got a big call for the weekend from each of us, and we'll talk about who we're keeping an eye on. Have a quick brief look at Supercoach for this week, because if you've been paying attention, Supercoach officially scoring starts next week, but the games don't count this week. But they do for the players' prices. So
yes,
be pretty interesting. And then, so we're going to make some picks. We'll do some fun stuff. But the good thing about AFL Today is we're just pretty chill about it. Just take it easy, bro. It's just footy.
Exactly. It's just footy, Jim. What? Yeah, it's more than that.
Screaming like 80% of the time.
It's more than that.
Right. All the news you can use. Let's do it very briefly. Have we got some news for the teams? We'll get into this. But, of course, the big one for the Saturday game is that we've got no Dusty, Nank, or Lynch for the Tigers.
All the experience going for the Tigers, yeah.
It's almost like they're like, we'll take the bye before Carlton in round 1 as our opening game.
Yeah, maybe they just think this is pre-season still.
They literally are.
I think they'll just load up for Thursday.
But it's all, because it's a 5-day back up into Thursday plus a flight home. It's just like, we'll just get right for Carlton.
Yeah,
like 80,000 people.
Lynch and Dusty have been like this for the last couple of years where you're going, I want to risk it because they'll have a long
I still don't believe Tom Lynch is fit.
Well, he hasn't been for the last couple of years, has he? Yeah. So
Don't mention the war.
Or Kate Middleton.
okay.
Yeah, this is what I said. I said it the other day.
I'm running with your joke.
He is Kate Middleton. We've not seen them.
No.
Maybe she's had an affair with Tom Lynch and they've both absconded.
Jesus.
No one knows.
We don't know.
Prove me wrong, Kate. Come on.
We'll get her on. We'll get her on the
So,
podcast.
bring Megan.
The other sort of thing was for the Pies, no Pendles.
Yeah.
I think officially he's probably going to be listed as out. Old. And Jeremy Howe.
Howe's just had so many injuries, yeah. I don't think they're massive outs. Obviously, they've got massive depth, but they are experienced and very good players. Yeah.
And the other bit is that's been thrown in there is that the Hawks are rumoured to be going all in for Jamarra Ugle-Hagan for next season.
I think
Colour me shocked. A team that needs a forward is willing to spend money on a forward that's been developed.
him and Mitch Lewis together, I reckon that would be an awesome pairing. They have a lot of money apparently, same as Sydney.
Geez, just imagine if you paired Jamarra Ugle-Hagan up with like another really good forward like Aaron Norton or Tim English or someone like that.
Rory Lobb.
Aaron Norton's
Rory
a bit
Lobb.
inconsistent. Rory Lobb. Yeah, you got
Cody Waitman.
Yeah, Cody Waitman's good. Yeah.
But in terms of the other sort of ins and outs, so teams guy, take us through some of the ins and outs. We've got Zach Williams back for my beloved Blues.
Zach Williams back for the Blues. Let's have a quick look. You got Orazio Fantasia playing his first game. Or Fantasia is actually how you're supposed to say it, but he says, don't worry about it.
I believe you're going to pronounce it Orazio Fantasia.
There we go. We got Cozzy playing his first game for Richmond. Jacob Kaczynski, that's his from the Hawks.
I got
Alex
really confused.
Forgotten about that one? Yeah.
No, you said Cozzy. I'm like, Cozzy Pickett's
Not Cozzy
suspended, bro.
Pickett. Yeah.
Cozzy.
Sam Naismith as well. He's been around the AFL for a long time, but I think he'll be really good for Richmond. We'll talk about that. And Supercoach, Collingwood, who else? We got Charlie Dean. He's making I think it's his debut for Collingwood. He's had so many injuries. He was drafted a couple of years ago and he's never got a game.
843 days or something, I read.
Yeah, and then
two first names.
Your two first names as well. Harvey Thomas, another guy for GWS. He's debuting, which will be interesting.
He has the unfortunate one of two first names, two last names.
Two last names. That's actually all right. And then the other one I forgot to talk about, Lockie Schultz. Obviously went over from Freo to Collingwood. I think he's going to be a massive inclusion for Collingwood because he's an absolute freak.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second in the preview. The other one for Carlton is that we've got Mark Pitnett as an emergency. So they've actually gone with Tom De Koning and Harry Mackay as the ruck combo.
I don't mind that.
Hashtag spoiler alert, I'm picking Brisbane.
Yeah, but that's before whoever you picked, I think.
We're already playing in the Gabba.
Yeah,
What are we
exactly.
gonna do here? So either way, so there's your sort of big ones. The absentees obviously out of Brisbane. It's like Connor McKenna, Devin Robertson, Tom Dodie, Will Ashcroft.
Well, but Dode and Ashcroft won't be back
Exactly,
till the
both
middle of the year
injured
anyway.
halfway through the season. For the Blues, no Sam Walsh, of course, with the injury. Jacob Wiedering injured. Caleb Marchbank, Motlop, Martin.
Few injuries, yeah.
Few injuries. Like Carlton, look,
One certain suspension for
Elijah
illicit
Hollins.
substance.
Yeah.
And
Great
of course,
pickup.
my beloved Jack Silvani. And then on Saturday, you've got Gold Coast. Not too much, really, for them. It's like Lockie Weller, Ben Long, and Mark Andrew.
Pretty similar to their main team from last year. Yeah.
Mac Andrews probably the only one in that I'd say will definitely start every week.
They've got Alex Sexton actually looking at the lineup, starting at centre half back when
Love
he's
it.
about my height. So
Love
I don't
it.
know what the hell's going on there.
Have you seen Richmond's forward line? Like, it's Noah Bolter.
And Cozzy now. He's tall at least. I know.
Tigers, we already hit on Dusty, Nank, and Lynch. Jack Graham's another one. GWS, it's like no Harry Perryman, no Isaac Cumming, Brendan Pruce, obviously, and Finn Callahan. And the Pies, it's basically Howe, McStay, Murphy,
who's
and
missing?
Pendle. So
But
missing.
they were never expected to play. Well,
Exactly.
McStay would have. Yeah.
So-
Well, no, but
From-
McStay did his knee. He was never playing round one. And
So
Murphy's
this is
still
basically
concussed.
this is what I'm saying. It's like if you're like, where are they? We just told you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the entire point of AFL today. We're going to take it
We have a
easy.
bit of fun, but we also give the insight.
all right.
stuff.
We didn't mention the on Tuesday's show. We didn't mention the Demons, like how many players they're missing from their best 22. Like it's ridiculous.
I forgot about Cozzy actually.
Yeah. It was Cozzy Pickett suspended. You've got Joel Smith indefinitely suspended. Brayshaw's retired. Ben Brown's still injured. Shane McAdam has come across from Adelaide injured. Petty with his foot still down. Lockie Hunter's done a calf, and the Melksham did his knee in Sydney late last year. So
Melksham is big out, I reckon.
you'd probably say 6 or 7 of them would definitely be in Melbourne's best 22 tonight if they were playing.
Pour one out for the milkshake. All right. Game previews.
Bring back the soundboard.
Yeah, we'll have to get
Round
that
zero, opening round. What a world. Well, of course, we've got the Swans Demons tonight. The latest sort of movement was that we had the Swans just favoured,
Yep.
I believe. This essentially has been one of the more even opening matches you'll see of an AFL season.
ages, yeah.
No one has any idea, it seems like. It's like, well, the Swans have got it in the SCG, but Melbourne were pretty good, but they've also got lots of injuries. And here we are.
And the Swans were terrible at the SCG last year.
I know, yeah. But
The thing
everyone's thinking they're going to rise. Obviously, you're a Swans fan as well.
The biggest hype team in the offseason. We talked about that earlier this week.
Yeah.
But the SCG on Thursday night, this will be all going on.
You'll know it right now, what the result is.
I picked the Demons. You guys both picked the Swans for this one.
Yeah. I think, you could flip of a coin, really. But
It's a
Swans
tough
at home, I think they've got a better list at the moment.
My worry is the Demons' lack of forward line, and I think the Swans, with the way that they played in the preseason, they're not just going to bomb it along the line. Stephen May goes, no, Mark.
Yeah, no,
sick."
yeah.
I think they're going to chip it around and then look to
Lower
come
their head a
board
bit as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Well, Brisbane Carlton, Friday night footy.
Yes.
We're bringing the song back. Like, it should be back.
Yeah, we can make it.
Friday night footy. I'll just be singing my own song anyway. Don't you worry about that. The Gabba, Friday at 7:40 p.m. Cannot wait for this. The Lions are 4-goal favourites in this one, which checks out.
It surprised me at first, but then you're like,
It's
at
at the
Gabba.
Gabatoir. The Blues are kind of like, talk about sort of easing your way into a season. It very much feels like they're just like, well, we've got the Lions at the Gabba in round 0.
Makes it tough.
It does feel like very similar to the Tigers. They're keeping the powder a little bit dry, get a run into the rest of their dudes. I don't expect the Blues to win this one, but this is the prelim final replay from last year where Carlton got my hopes up and then dashed them quite
They're
expertly.
up by 30 or
Only
something.
Carlton should do.
I think they're up by 30 or something like that.
I don't feel like we scored in the second half.
Even though you don't
All I
want to
know
believe
is
that.
at 3/4 time, Fev changed his Carlton shirt to a Brisbane shirt.
He did, of course he did.
And as Stats Boy points out, Carlton has not won at the Gabba since 2013.
I didn't think you would want to read that one out. Yeah, not at the Gas 2013. That's not good.
Have you played at the Gabba every year?
No, I don't think they have,
Not every
but,
year, but
still,
it's
that's
still
a long time.
Yeah.
You'd think,
Just-
even if it's like, I think it's about...
It could be 8 games.
Yeah, that's still a long time. Yeah.
Not great.
I think, there's like a pretty remarkable stat where, Carlton have just barely beaten Brisbane for the last 20 years.
Okay.
And they did beat them at Marvel in 2019, I believe. I was like randomly at that game with the old man, and it was like, what just happened? It was gnarly. But yeah, Brisbane have a 14-game win streak at home, it's the Gabatoir. This is what happens. Let's talk of this one really quickly. Like, do you rate Carlton at all for this game?
You have no defence.
Yeah.
Well-
I'm worried. Without Wiedering to throw like any sort of like vague size on Danaher, Hipwood, and then of course like just the smalls like Chucky Cameron and go,
Yeah.
I think we're going to get cooked.
Yeah.
So,
If this was in Melbourne, I'd give you a chance. I probably still wouldn't tip you, but I'd give you much more of a chance. Just obviously you said 14 wins in a row for the Lions at the Gabatoir. Yeah, it's too tough to pick anyone against the Lions. I'm not going to tip against the Lions at the Gabba, I think, all year. So,
Why would you?
And also just, you add in no Sam Walsh. It's just like Brisbane.
Yeah, that doesn't help,
This will
does
be
it?
scrappy and scratchy early, and then it's like Brisbane's class will show late and they'll win by like 20, 21. And this will just be one of those ones. If you've taken the Brisbane handicap, you're like, oh, I hate everything about this.
Brisbane
Yeah.
40 plus. 100%.
Really?
40 plus? No.
They will run over the like Alex hit on it, right? Like the lack of defense is going to be really because we have a lack of
Wiedering
sizable defense anyway.
No
like,
Wiedering, no Marchbank.
True.
so it's going to be a bit of a rough
don't
one.
think-
And then no
40
Sam Walsh in the midfield straight away. It's like Cripper's going to have 40 and kick 4.
Chera, whoever else we've sort of got like hanging out there. Just going,
You said Jack Martin's injured?
he's out as well.
Yeah.
so-
No,
Fantasia
I
coming in
changed
for
my
his
mind. Brisbane at the minus. Take that.
Fantasia coming in for his first game is it a couple of years as well? So that's a bit of a worry, yeah.
I don't know if he was at Essendon or Port Adelaide most recently.
He was at Port Adelaide most
There you go.
recently, but that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Let's do the pick. Who do we like? I'm going Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Yeah, got to go Brisbane. I don't think 40 plus, but they'll cover that line.
I think at home they'll kick away late and just be like, oh, yeah, it's the same as the previous.
Maybe it's like 2 or 3 goals a
They do that
three-quarter
a lot.
time. It's one of those
They
ones
start well and they end well, Brisbane, yeah.
but it's one of those games that's never in doubt for Brisbane. Oh, yeah, they're going to win. And then they just kick away late.
So if you think about like Lewis Young, Brody Kemp, then you got McGovern, who's like the only one with a hint of size off
Lewis Young's
half-bank.
pretty big, but
He's not that big though. Like when you see him actually out there, you're like, he seems
And
like
Joe's
we have like
so tall.
we have a plethora of like those sort of big-ish mid-sized backs. And,
George
like,
Hewitt.
we sort of cycle through them. So
Yep.
we've got Hewitt, we've got Akers and
Newman.
and Chera on the outside. You got Doc. They should be able to move the ball a bit as well. We saw that a fair amount against Brisbane last year. Like you get plenty of touches, but they still also still beat you.
they just kick a lot of goals.
Brisbane's
yeah.
run off halfback's going to be
Yeah, Coleman.
well.
Who else have you got out there?
Jasper Fletcher.
Yeah, it's Fletcher.
We have
on the
talked
wing.
about this game for a very long
move
time.
on.
Right. Saturday, Gold Coast, Richmond. The Suns are 14.5-point favourites, and it wasn't that much of a surprise. Like even
No, I think that's right.
I would have thought it was even a little bit more, especially after you're like, all right, no Nank.
But it's Gold Coast.
Yeah, that's the only annoying thing about it. You can never fully trust Gold Coast.
But more importantly, it's a dimmer bowl.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that.
Where's
Dimmer
my
bowl.
dimmies? Give me some dimmies, man. Oh, I just want some dimmies, bro. Love the dimmer bowl. 4:20. Nice. On Saturday at Heritage
Ironic
Bank.
how Dim is also like a.
Yeah,
what
he is.
like
He's got a medical
spokesperson for-
marijuana. Yeah, he does. Yeah. So that's why maybe all their games are at 4:20.
So it's honestly just going to be a
It's just
bowl,
synergy.
and every game should start at 4:20.
Dimmer
And we
bowl,
don't-
4:20.
Can they get sponsored by Marathon possibly for this game? Just
bad.
Dimmer Bowl, yeah.
Or Mosh.
Is that another Mosh? The hair thing. I was talking about Dimmies.
Right. The craziest part is obviously it's like, yeah, your former premiership coach going to your new coach, his old team. It's going to be crazy. Suns have won the last three. Last one was by 24 points. I feel like we're all on the same sort of track where the Tigers are going to have a pretty hefty dip this year. And in game number one, where they're sort of already resting the old folks home, it's going to get rough.
Yeah.
So
watch Richmond win this by 5 goals.
No. What, 'cause
It'd be
we've-
the most Gold Coast thing
the
ever.
most
It
Suns
would,
thing they could
wouldn't it?
possibly do.
Yeah.
They got a much better list in this game. Just this
Well,
team
if
is
we
looking
think
really good.
Gold Coast are going to go up the table and they don't look to have any major injuries to like key position players, whereas there's so many question marks on Richmond. We worry about their forward line. Like, I don't think Noel Bolter's the answer up forward. I think he's a better backman. Like, he went forward a lot late in the year last year and he only took like 15 or 16 marks. It's like, man, you're probably better at centre half back and you do make some dumb decisions in the forward line too.
Yeah.
Right. The big one, I mean, for Gold Coast, you've got essentially this weird sort of patched together forward line, right? Like Bailey Humphrey, you've got Casbolt, you've got King, and you're like, can you guys just please, seriously, just focus?
Levi,
For a
get out of
minute.
Jack
think
Lukosius'
they're-
way.
Their forward line is actually looking all right. Rosas finished
he's
off.
back,
He
yeah.
was really good at the end of last year. Just Casbolt's the big question mark. If he can kick 2, then they will go a long
Levi
way to them winning.
Casbolt is more trustworthy than Harry Mackay.
But he's just not trustworthy, is he? Yeah.
I mean, no, his kicking's actually gotten better since he left
He
Carlton.
still just drops it weird. I don't know. It's something about him.
Sexton named it centre half back, which is pretty fun. Took Miller in the middle, of course.
Stupid, sexy Flanders.
Noah
Where's he?
Anderson.
Yeah,
Where is
Flanders.
stupid, sexy Flanders? He's on the
He's on the
interchange
bench, which
So,
surprised me. Yeah.
Maybe right.
Matty Rowell, he's going to go out in there and eat some grass. Should be good.
Ironic dimmer bowl.
Yes.
I basically think you can't trust the Suns. The 14.5 gives me a little bit of pause because like Richmond are experienced, if nothing else. But I think the Suns win this. What do you reckon?
I'll get into my big call later, but I think they're going to win this comfortably. The Suns, I like their list a lot better, and they've got a lot of young guys starting to hit their prime. Even Sexton in this new role, it'll be interesting. If Dimmer has all these new roles and they all work, they'll win this comfortably. But that's a big if.
Yeah, I think once we found out no Nank, no Dusty,
More of the name
Lynch.
thing's the biggest one.
I was like, oh, because
Because Witts is such a good
I
ruckman.
wasn't expecting Dusty or Tom Lynch to play, to be honest. Yeah.
who are you picking?
Gold Coast.
All right,
Gold Coast, yeah.
let's do it. The final game of round 0, opening round. Say all the names, why not? GWS versus Collingwood at the NG Stadium.
Oh, yes.
Traditional
It's the
names
new-
only, thank you.
It
Sydney
literally
Showground.
just got announced half an hour ago.
Engie
What even
Stadium.
is it? What's Engie?
Energy Company.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
7:30 p.m. Saturday night. This is going to be an absolute belter. These two teams played obviously in a prelim last year, but they also had a cracking game middle of last year.
It did.
There's
No,
just
they didn't. They got smashed on
we know
Mother's Day.
The final was the really good
the
one.
final was a really good game, but
Yeah.
I remember walking past a pub, looking in there, going, "This is great because my multi's going to get up."
Yeah, no, it wasn't
Well,
a
might not have
cracking
been a good
game.
game. Good
They
game
got-
for multi.
It was great
Yeah.
for me. 'Cause Josh Dacos went off.
Yeah,
There you
no,
go,
they
there
got
you go.
absolutely flattened on Mother's Day at the MCG.
They did.
Thank you very much, GWS and Collingwood, for playing a belter of a game.
More importantly, John Noble is back.
Yeah, we love Johnny Noble. Cold hero.
Yeah.
He's got the hair of a cult hero. He's got the game of a cult hero. But the prelim rematch, the Pies have won the last 3, only by a point than one last year, which is just an insane game. 8-2 in the last 8-2 in the last 10 home openers for
Slow that
GWS,
down,
which is pretty crazy. And the Pies at NG Stadium,
Not good.
they've lost their last 3.
Yeah. Which
This
surprised
is
me, yeah.
Obviously a sellout. They've already hit 30,000 members. They're losing their minds about that. So good on you. Where are you guys from? Greater Western Sydney? Where's that? Oh, it's pretty great. It's out west.
It's the great part of the western.
Just say roads.
Just give us a name. It's all I ask from it. I hate generic, weird.
Well, Jim
regional.
hates the Dolphins in the NRL. He wants to call them like Carrara or something.
Yeah, I get that.
Moreland Bay Dolphins.
Yep.
It's right there.
Redcliffe as well.
Yeah.
Moreton Bay, Moreland. I'm just like going on
There's
north.
no bay in
I called
Moreland.
that tram yesterday.
Your place in Moreland. I don't think there's a beach anywhere near there.
I'm like, isn't that my council? It's like, yeah. Moreton Bay Dolphins.
Oh,
Away we go.
what a
Moreton
fight.
Bay. I'm like all those Moreland Bay bugs. It's just very different. Very different.
Like 20, you can get a Moreland Bay bug for $20.
I'm pretty sure I killed one of those this morning on the kitchen bench.
I would have copped like the western suburbs because then you're just like, all right, you go out toward, you go out past sort of Croydon in Sydney and you're like, bam, out there, Parramatta Way, sweet. It covers a lot of ground. Homebush is the base.
I hate generic regional names. Like even Gold Coast is a bit of a it's still a place, but geez, come on, man.
Very broad.
They are 6.5-point favourites at home, however.
That's
the
surprising.
Giants against the reigning premiers.
I think the Giants are the biggest hype team coming into the season.
Well, for you, they definitely. You got what you predicted premiership for them, which is a big call,
I did too.
In our office Vox Pop that we did today, I think it was Giants and Brisbane were the two most popular ones.
No one's got that much imagination.
No.
No, GWS that's an
Freo!
That's an imagination, GWS. I don't think you guys are giving enough credit.
We had literally Collingwood, GWS and Brisbane, and then HR Lady Christine, who's a St Kilda fan, tips St Kilda.
It's a big sound. We know that. But
Absolutely.
obviously the thing for GWS is like, can they build straight away? Like you can't limp into this season now.
Yeah,
I need a flag and I need to plan it. This is the flag in the ground going, we're here. We're not here to mess around this year. Or otherwise Adam Kings is going to bash us.
Yeah. We've said this time and time again. Like there's like leading by example and there's leading by intimidation. And we know where Kingsley falls. It's like play good or I'll bash you. And you're like, yes, sir. All right. I'm going to tip GWS in this one. I don't like this. I think I've just gone favourites. But no, I did actually pick the Demons who are underdogs. But GWS, it just feels like they've got a little bit more oomph across the board.
They've got more to play for.
They played, one less week last year?
No. But what I mean is they've got more to play for. Like they have to throw everything at this game.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you could say that about lots of different low teams. Like North have more to play for against Collingwood, for example. We're not going to beat Collingwood, but
you did.
Yeah,
but that's
we definitely won't.
GWS are as good, if not better, than Collingwood. North Melbourne are 100 yards worse than Collingwood. It's not as if it's like David and Goliath. This is two of the best teams in the competition, and you're looking for the littlest of edges.
Yep.
And I think GWS have that. Like they'll be so pumped up.
Yep. No, fair call.
Two crazy, awesome midfields. You feel like the GWS forward line has more weapons than Collingwood. At least has more targeted structures, which is
it's more structured
targets. There we go. And the back line, obviously, we saw for GWS is amazing. Collingwood's defense is obviously fantastic.
Yeah.
And was the best in the AFL last year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just like one of these great matchups where you go, we can't wait for this. And then the Giants smash them.
Oh,
we are going
cheering
right into the big call for the weekend.
I'm going to get my tip in. I'm going Collingwood, lads. I can't believe.
Yeah, right. I move on.
Yeah. What a surprise! I forgot my tip. I'm going Pies. I don't know.
Oh, geez, boys.
You got it. They're the reigning premiers. I don't think there's a lot of guys in GWS that are still building as players. So I'm going the Pies.
Geelong were the premiers last year, and they lost in the first round.
Yeah, but they were older. I don't know.
Let's do it. Big call. Opening round
Big call.
of the AFL. Collingwood struggled to score and get run over by the Giants, and we're just like, hang on a second, where did that come from? Well, we told you on Thursday night, didn't we, on AFL Today, bro? Simple as that. The Collingwood team that we saw all season last year, they would have these games where again, same as they did the back half of the year prior, they're just like pulling it out of their rears, just going, oh, geez, we just fell over the line. That was pretty good, though. And they just, it became second nature to them. But the problem is if they don't have just that absolute sort of free-flowing sort of vibe right off the bat, it's going to get really tough. And I think Greater Western Sydney are too good.
If someone's in their face from the opening bounce and right in their face and on top of them early, that's when Collingwood does seem to struggle, because that's what happened when Brisbane beat them both times last year. Hawthorn, when they knocked them off, got right in their faces and punched them in the mouth. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yep. Yeah, I think they can get over that, but we'll have to. It's a big call. So
my big call.
That's my big call.
I can have a
Alex,
big call.
your big call.
Toby kicks 4. It's Toby time.
Oh,
Toby
Green. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Toby kicks 4.
Got to be specific about your Tobies. We've got
sorry to Toby Bedford, but it's Toby Green.
Toby Pink as well for North.
Toby Nankervis. He's doing it from the bench.
So I don't mind that. Yeah, I think he could probably kick 4 every couple of games the way he plays.
Nice one. I think the bigger call is he kicks 4 and then wins the Brownlow.
Oh, jeez, he's not going to win the Brownlow.
His brother Tom will win the Brownlow.
Yeah, Tom Green, yeah.
And Stats Boy, big call for the weekend.
This is going to be the biggest call out of the lot, I reckon. Gold Coast 40-plus win against the Tigers. Richmond trying a lot of players in new positions. You got Sam Naismith, hasn't played for the Tigers. You got Noah Bolter going up forward, which I do like, but I think it's going to take a couple of games to adjust. You got Cozzy, who hasn't played up for Richmond, things like that. And the Suns, they just got fired up. A lot of their players are starting to hit their prime. I think they're going to absolutely smash the Tigers, and the Tigers go, oh, crap.
I like that you're like, oh, big call. I'm like, it's not that big.
Yeah, and I just want to say, it's
you
like,
said before the show,
Richmond might stink.
and I just like how you're like, Sam Naismith hasn't played before. He's a ruckman. He jumps and hits the ball. It's not that hard.
No, but it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are changing at Richmond.
Yeah.
Craft.
Lots of game plan and things like that. 40+. I think that's a big call because
It is Gold
people
Coast.
think Richmond have a chance.
Keep telling yourself that. All right, keep an eye on this weekend. Who are we keeping an eye on? For me, it's very specifically because I think Stats Boy's already hit on a team that I would have talked about. But the Giants midfield for me and how the Pies combat it is just fascinating to me because it'd be like if you look at the types of player like Whitfield, Caniglio, let alone Green and Kelly, right?
Yep.
Like I'm fascinated to see how like that second tier of midfield dudes goes.
For GWS,
especially against Collingwood.
Yeah.
Because if they just like absolutely run rampant, I'm like, yeah, they might win the flag.
Have
like,
we
who
not
knows?
paid enough respect to the Daykai and DeGoey?
Maybe.
That's why I'm going Collingwood. I think that
At the same time, they're not exactly the world's toughest players.
not tough,
Daykai.
but in terms of
I wouldn't
they're going to
wanna
get
run
the
into-
ball and they're going to be like, here you go, I got the ball. You're not getting it off me. You're not getting it off me. I think they're going to get a lot more of the ball. And
But that's exactly why I'm saying like how Collingwood deals with this. It should be fascinating because we know that
Awesome
DeGoey is a hard nut, but a lot of the time it's like
Dacos
sort
on
of
the outside. Yeah,
Daykai on the
No, I'll
outside.
give you that, yeah.
Off you go. So I think that matchup is going to be fantastic, and it's probably my favorite. Just like I can't wait for that game on Saturday.
I agree.
So, I'll be keeping a very, very deft eye on that Giants midfield, and basically just how they sort of, I don't know. We saw them in person play St Kilda in that elimination final, and it was just absolutely
it was the
amazing.
tsunami they called
It was a tsunami.
Literally, the way they controlled the game was just incredible. So, Alex.
Keeping an eye on Richmond and literally how bad they could be. Like this could get ugly, start out ugly, and then they go to the MCG in round 1 next week and get absolutely pummeled. You're like,
By Carlton,
it's the middle of March and their season's over. And I'm also keeping an eye on Mason Cox getting into a scuffle with a much smaller man because it's such a Mason Cox thing to do, and he's an absolute tool bag.
Oh, bang. He does watch the show, so he'll say that.
Good. Just take your hide out of your Twitter account, you tool.
Like
I just want everyone to know that I'm tall.
Did you know he's from America?
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, right. The
No one's
American Pie.
literally never mentioned it when we're relation to
US.
Do you reckon he probably went to the Super Bowl? Or?
Do you reckon he'd get more than 61,000 viewers?
Maybe.
Probably.
All right, Stats Guy, who are you keeping an eye on?
You'll like this one, sort of, because you're a Carlton fan. Zach Williams, I just want to see how the likes of Zach Williams, Harry Mackay, and just the overall depth of Carlton, mainly Zach Williams because he's come back from injury, just to see how those sort of depth players and a couple other players coming in. Fantasia's another one that I just saw with the teams. Just some of these guys that aren't the big names at Carlton. I just want to see how they go because this will probably decide how I think Carlton will go for the rest of the season.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
I think the idea of like having DeConing and Mackay in the ruck is going to be
Just got to see how that goes.
incredibly
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Up against Brisbane, who are obviously one of the best midfields in the comp.
Yep.
But like DeConing is one of the biggest linchpins for this team this year. Like he was really good in the win streak last year, where
I
it's
think
like
it can be really
He got
good.
the contract extension.
he did, and it's like you can play him. They were basically going right. We're going to play him instead of Pitnet a bunch of
Doesn't it
times.
seem like a waste of money on Pitnet in hindsight? You gave him a
course.
3-year
I know,
extension.
and now
It
he's
was
just
like
an emergency.
400,000 or 500,000. It's just like,
I know.
oh man,
But then Silvani goes out, and they've obviously gone right. We need to figure out this Mackay-Kerno situation. That's what they're doing. So,
it's get out of Charlie's way.
all right, good stuff. Some good keep an eye on. Before we bounce, let's take a look at some names for Supercoach. Now, this is not an important week for Supercoach beyond the fact that we get a free look at some of these players.
Yeah.
And who are we looking at here, Stats Guy?
I'll start us off. Kitty Coleman, I think Alex was talking him up from the other show. He's going to have an awesome year for Brisbane. He's really cheap in Supercoach, under 400K. So that's just unreal for a guy that everyone thinks is going to average over 100 this year. So it'll just be interesting to see if he racks up the touches that we expect him to. 25 plus this weekend would lock him into a lot of sides, I reckon. Yeah.
Because it's like his role, like for that team.
Just don't defend.
Right.
Just go.
Just run.
When
Yeah.
he clicked into gear in the back half of
Yeah.
the season, that's when Brisbane really started going hard late in the year.
So he's a great Supercoach look if he has that role.
Yeah.
Yep.
Watch out. Same with Zach Williams, obviously, is the next name. For the Blues, he's wildly cheap. We know that he's a really good, classy user of the ball,
Yep.
which is actually very important when it comes to your Supercoach. But he's like locked into a million teams. And if he actually delivers, then everyone's going to be like, hooray. And if he stinks it up or is the sub,
gone.
Warning signs, warning signs.
I've never seen a dude dominate a game of football more than Zach Williams when he was 16 years old.
Oh, that's a good reference.
So where he's from, Narrandera, it was their first grand final in like forever. They won it by 40 points because Zach Williams just dominated. Everyone there was like, that dude will play AFL one day. And the Giants like called him next week. It was insane.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have...
we got Alex Sexton. Sexy back. Is that what you were saying in the Supercoach?
Timberlake. He's very sexy
Timberlake.
back.
Dimmers put him half back. He got, I think, about 30 touches on the weekend, which surprised everyone because he averaged 23 Supercoach last year. So just to see if he... 23 points, sorry. Just to see if he does well off half-back and against who are they playing? The Tigers this weekend. So we'll see how he goes because he's never played half-back in an official game before.
Another one's obviously Naismith.
Yep. Just because he's going to be their number one ruckman for the first few weeks and he's cheap.
One of those things where it's like, there's like no other rookie like rucks that'll be playing essentially.
Yeah.
And he is, so he's priced awesomely. So just keep an eye on that.
Yep.
Cadman.
Aaron Cadman.
He got named. I'm just having a look now. He's in my team. I said he's playing North and West Coast in the first couple of games. North, as a North fan, I know that the third forward, when we don't have any talls at all, loves to feast. So Riccardi, when he was the third tall for GWS, now he's one of their bigger names.
He still is the third forward.
So is Cadman the fourth?
Yes.
Okay, fourth. Even better. The lower you get down the list as a tall, you can kick some goals, I reckon. So he's a bit of a pod. Podsy Adley, as you would say.
Good Podsy Adley. Yeah. Good pods.
Apart from the fact he got drafted at 18 and not 31.
All right, the last player we're going to be watching, someone from Collingwood.
I put down Finn McRae, but he's not playing.
He's not playing.
Which surprised me.
We'll just keep an eye on Dacos.
Yeah, both Dacoses.
The Dakai.
The Dakai.
Maybe even Degoe.
In Degoe, yeah. Degoe just...
Supercoach for Degoe is always a bit weird though.
Yeah.
He's very inconsistent with the...
He led to Bali and not come back for a couple of weeks. So.
Like,
That's all right. As long as he's got a price rise by then, who cares?
He'll have really good games here and there, and there'll be other ones where it just goes, hang on a second.
Lipinski's a little sneaky one as well, I reckon.
No, he's not.
Dacos is in like, I believe 140% of all Supercoach teams. So off the back, because you can have him as a defender, he's wildly important. Because there are the tactics out there. Don't start with Dacos. See if you can drop that price down a little bit and then snag him up later.
Because he's going to score 140 and then the price goes up.
That's why you keep an eye on him this week.
Yes.
Because if it doesn't, then you just lock him in next week and you're laughing.
Yep.
So, and there you go. Bit of a Supercoach look for round 0 opening round. And that is the preview for AFL Today for round 0 for today. But of course, thank you to one Alex Donnelly over there.
Thank you. Can't wait for tonight. Let's go Swans.
And thank you, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
All right. We have plenty of shows to plug right now. So we have, of course, the Cricket Today show. We have the Football Today show. We have NBA Australia. We have NFL Australia. We have this. You can see me and my guys, Al Payton and Tim Mitchell on the official Supercoach show as well. But follow, like, subscribe, comment across all the socials on all of those shows, would ya? We don't ask for much, but we will ask this. Facey, IG, X, Threads probably. TikTok.
No, not threads.
TikTok,
not
YouTube, and of course, we should have this one up on the old, that's right, as a podcast, finally. So fingers crossed it all goes well. Get around all of the shows like Tony, Plugger, Lockett, getting around a Snag and a Bunnings car park.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. I love that. And we will be back Sunday to wrap up the first 4 games of the AFL season and set up, your week. Lovely. So we'll be back, and this will be the cadence for the AFL Today show. We'll be doing a Sunday evening show for your Monday. Then we'll be doing Wednesday. Then we'll be doing Thursday nights. And these will probably be done live down the stretch as well.
Cool.
Which will be cool.
Awesome.
So there you go. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And that is it. We'll catch you after round 0 because footy's back. So stay tuned. There you go for more AFL Today. And look after yourselves, would you? Remember, footy's back.